Welcome to Along the Rock, brought to you by the Radar Free Press. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Blum. Today with us, we have Terri Porter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kaitlyn. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, thanks for coming. So today we're here to talk about your Beautiful Exchange 2025 Women's Conference, and the theme of that is Brave.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's coming out August 1st and 2nd.
So tell me about your themes.
Okay. All right. So I'll start with Beautiful Exchange. So that was like a phrase that I just kind of dropped into my heart, and just kind of the exchange of what God does for us. He takes our shame and brings us honor, and takes our guilt and gives us freedom. And so that kind of dropped into my heart. And I don't know, I've always kind of found that women have a lot of difficulty sometimes dealing with who they are. And so that was really the force that started the conference in 2019. And so this year, every year we do a different theme. And this year's Brave. So being courageous in maybe a world of chaos. And so how we as women can be courageous on a lot of fronts that we navigate life.
That's a great theme. So you've been having this conference for a number of years now.
Yes.
What's going to make this year unique and different?
Well, I think every year we bring a different guest speaker. Like last year we had one, her name is Beth Jones, and she's an author of hundreds of books. She's on TV, she's on all different kinds of platforms, pray.com, if you've ever seen that advertised on TV. And so every year the guest speaker that we bring in is specifically for the theme. And so I think that adds a uniqueness to the conference, that they bring a different perspective.
Yeah, so this year's speaker is Alicia Hankins Moran. So what do you think she's going to bring to the conference?
Well, I think she's bringing a lot of fire because she's fiery. She's a mom of 5. And so I think that just brings fire in and of itself, being a mom of that many kids. She grew up in a pastor's home. Her and her husband travel all over the world. And so she's just had to fight a courageous battle. She had a kid with a disease that they had to overcome. And so it was kind of a miraculous story. But I think she just has lived a very courageous and brave life. And so I think she will help that translate into the women attending, that they'll see how they can be brave in the face of adversity.
That's great. So after or during that, there's also breakout sessions, right?
Yes. Yep. So Saturday, you can pick from 6 different breakout sessions and choose 2 that maybe fit the season of life that you find yourself in at the particular time. We offer kind of a variety, a wide range of speakers. And we choose the speakers from either within the church or without the church, mostly from within. But like one of our speakers is Denise Hart. She's been a retired teacher in the Sterling Public School system. And she's just an amazing person, been in our church for a really long time. And so I think a lot of people would maybe relate to her session. So kind of whatever you feel like you relate to, you can pick a session.
That's cool. Give people like a few choices. I like
choices.
That.
Yeah, I like choices.
So every year you give back to a charity, right? With this conference, what's this year's charity?
We do. This year's charity is Grandma Bonnie's School Supply Closet. And that was started by a lady locally in our community out of her church. And she just had a heart for kids that were struggling to get their school supplies. And so the ROE, or the area, took it over. And so they just put out a plea, and I got an email about it just locally, like, hey, we're looking for somebody to help with those supplies. So kids are a big heart of Abiding Word Church. And so I said, hey, let's do this with my team, pick this to be able to give back to. So we're just asking the women to bring a few objects in. We got the list on our Instagram, Facebook, Beautiful Exchange. And so they can bring something and help a kid fill a need, maybe going back to school in the fall.
That's wonderful. It's school's coming up soon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, super fast.
Is there a story from like a past conference that you want to share?
So I think what I like is stories, just a couple of things that sometimes when you go to church, you can go to church and then leave and never make a connection, never form a friendship. You can feel lonely in the middle of the crowd. And so I like when people tell me different things from BXE, that it gives a relegated time where women are going to come together. You're not having maybe your kids, and you can just focus on maybe making a connection that could be life-changing for you. And so different stories that I've heard of friendships that have been made really make my heart happy. Or sometimes when the women come in and they'll say like, man, I just am in a broken season of life and I just felt so refreshed or renewed and able to take on what's ahead of me. So those personal stories make it worth it, all the effort that goes into making the conference happen.
I love the thought of a life-changing connection, like you said. That sounds wonderful.
I love those.
And then my other question was, like, let's say someone's watching this, they're interested. What would you say to someone who's maybe like on the fence about attending?
Actually, that's a great question because we partner with WCIC FM, their Christian radio station out of the Peoria area. And so they've been advertising for us. And there was a lady that contacted me through the radio station and she said, hey, I'm from out of town. I'm coming in, but I'm just kind of apprehensive. She said, is this going to just be your church ladies? Am I going to be accepted? Am I going to feel out of place? And so I think anybody has those questions when you're going to go somewhere. And so I told her, I said, no, people come from all over. I have ladies drive from Princeton. I have ladies drive from Iowa. I have ladies come sometimes from Kentucky. I have ladies from all over come. I said, so, if you're on the fence, like, am I going to be welcomed? Am I going to fit in? I would say yes. We're very welcoming and we want to help you make those vital connections and feel a part.
That's great to hear. Is there anything else you wanted to add about the conference?
So our registration fee covers a breakfast by, we have a couple in our church, the Sandoval's that go, and they have the toast by the bagels. And so they're doing breakfast for us that day. So you can experience, if you've never experienced their bagels before, they're awesome. And then Ralphie's out of Rochelle is going to cater our lunch. So we can have catered lunch. We have merch available online that you can purchase if you're a merch person and you want to rep, BXE. I said, I rep it with my tattoo, but you don't have to get a tattoo, but you can pick up merch. And then basically, if you're interested, you can go to our website, awc815.com, and click on our events and find out more information or directions or different things about the conference, the schedule, and things like that.
You said bagels by Toast and Plate.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bagel or a bagel sandwich at least 2 or 3 times a week.
What's your favorite? Is that your favorite?
Yes,
the sandwich.
The sandwich with the bacon. And I like the jalapeno cheddar bagel.
My favorites are, I love their blueberry bagel. It's so good. I love that one. But my husband loves the sausage sandwich that they have. Yes. Yes. So, I always try to sweet talk them into doing one thing a year at the church. And so I said, hey, would you like to do BXE this, time and have our ladies experience your bagels maybe.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to promote local.
Exactly. So very small local businesses.
Yes, totally into that. And so you have a lot of people in your church that have that. So you want to help support that in your community.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Terri, for being here and telling us about the conference.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it and love what you're doing.
Thanks. And then thank you to our listeners, of course, and our production crew. Remember that the Radar Free Press is free for all. So we do rely on those likes, shares, and comments to keep us thriving. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out theradar.online.